We're talking about the future of learning for Park City Schools right now, ladies and gentlemen, on the Mountain Morning Show. And joining me to talk about it, we have Melinda Colton and Christine Richman. Thank you, ladies, for joining us right now.
Thank you.
So,
how are you?
This is a master plan that's been put into effect. Can you talk about the master plan real quick and exactly what that is?
So, beginning in August, September, we kicked off the master planning process. That it began by focusing on what the Park City School District community and parents and teachers and administration wanted in terms of the future of education for the children here in the Park City School District area. We're at a really busy time in the master planning process in February. We've got task forces tonight. We've got an open house, 2 open houses on February 27th and 28th, where we're hoping to get feedback from everyone about some of the ideas that have been percolating up from our educators and from people involved in the master planning process.
And this is a 10-year plan, correct?
We have a planning horizon of 2027.
So.
Now,
Yes.
Education in 10 years changes in a lot. What are maybe some of the factors that you see changing in 10 years? Is this an ever-evolving plan? Is this we're going to have parents, maybe from kindergartens all the way up to when they reach 10th grade? You guys want them to continue to talk about? I mean, is this we're going to set the plans now and hopefully that will last the 10 years? What exactly is going to be happening during this 10-year plan?
Well, I think one of the best things that GSBS has done as consultants is to bring in an expert on education and what facilities look like now, what they can look like in the future, and what they should be so that the best learning can take place. The bedrock of all of that we're doing is academic excellence. We want to have the best facilities, the best instructors, the best everything so that our children here in Park City School District can get the best education so that they have a great head start as they begin those careers in the future world. So I think that this plan, what GSBS will do is bring to the board later this spring some options. You can do this, and this is what it'll cost. You can do this, and this is what it'll cost. So the board will be presented with recommendations, with different options, and then we put together the very best minds as we have to this point. I think that the way that we've involved educators, who has better ideas than what they need in their classrooms than our teachers and our principals and what they need in schools. So as we bring them together, and they've been volunteering their time to come after school and stay into early evening and give us their best ideas. One thing that keeps coming up, and you can talk to this more, I think, Christine, because we live in such a beautiful location, involving the outdoors in the learning process and bringing the outdoors into the classroom. We do a lot of that right now, but the teachers are saying we need to do more. We need to engage the students more.
And part of the next phase, as we move towards the recommendations for options to the board, will be looking at the existing buildings to see how they can accommodate the direction that the community and the teachers want to go in terms of learning communities, learning suites, how they want to set up their classrooms, and how they want to incorporate outdoor learning. That's been a theme throughout the entire process, is how to take advantage of the setting for Park City School District.
I think that's huge to do. I grew up in Lake Tahoe, which is a very environmentally friendly
Resort
place
town.
because of the lake, and I know that they start incorporating environmental learning into the education there because they're like, we live in Lake Tahoe, this is one of the most beautiful areas, we have to preserve this. So with everything going on, and we've seen the green plan being put out through politics right now, it makes sense to incorporate that into Park City because, again, we do live in such a beautiful area right now.
And we do, and this would take it to the next level, which is something that the whole reason people live here is for that. I think another key thing to let people know is that as our steering committee has been meeting now since September. Some kind of, we call them hot topics for lack of a better term, but some different things keep coming up that the community really is interested in. So tonight we have some work groups that will be formed, that have been formed, with community members and parents, and they will be discussing things like grade alignment. Do we want the 9th grade in the high school? Do we want a middle school that's 5, 6, or 6, 7, 8, or those kinds of things. Transportation, what can we do about Kearns Boulevard and all the schools that are there? What about Treasure Mountain Junior High? What should we do with that? And the list goes on. And so those are some of the different things that we'll be talking about. And as Christine mentioned, February 27th from 5 to 7 at the high school will be our next open house. If people can't make that one, we have one the very next night, February 28th, and that's from 6 to 8 at Ecker Hill Middle. So we hope people between those two locations and the two different times can really come, because that's where we will get feedback from the community. It's their chance to weigh in on what these working groups are going to recommend on grade alignment and location of schools and school sizes. And there's about 6 different areas that we really need to have their input on, and this is really their chance to get involved in this part of the process.
I was just they'll also have a chance to see where we're going with the ideas that are coming up through what we call the learning leaders, which are the educators, around things like outdoor learning and learning suites as well.
I think it's important because this is not just about the teachers and the faculty, this is also about the parents, because they're putting their students through the school, obviously.
Right.
Is there one area that you guys wish to see improved above most, or not above most else, but maybe just an area that's very important to you too?
Well, for me, it's kind of what I mentioned before. The foundation of all that we're doing, the whole reason we're doing this educational master plan is to make sure that we give our students the best benefit we can and that they receive the best possible education they can. I sincerely believe that there is no better school district in this state than the one right here in Park City. We have incredible achievements and accomplishments. And I think that this plan is to continue that and even bring us to the next level of how we can better prepare our students academically for their futures.
I think that's very well
Okay,
said.
Christine agrees with me.
Now, this is, as we mentioned, a 10-year-long plan. If this is successful and we see this work, is this going to continue to evolve after the 10 years, or are you not even thinking about that right now?
You know, nobody has a crystal ball, and so I'm a professional planner, and so in some master plans we look at a 10-year horizon. Sometimes we look at a 20-year horizon. You know, some of you may be familiar with the statewide long-range transportation plan, which is looking at 2050, which is, you know, a 30-year horizon. For something like a school district, 10 years seems to be a really good spot to look forward. It doesn't mean that planning stops and we wait for 10 years to think about it again. Plans are living things, and so depending on the direction that the community and the board want to go with this plan, there will be opportunities to refresh it and think about how implementation's going, you know, 2 years in, 3 years in. So it needs to be an ongoing activity.
And you know, we live in such a great town where there's so much knowledge and so much expertise, and so I don't want people to think that the only ones we want coming out and weighing in on these options and learning what we're doing are parents. Yes, it does direct parents, especially those that will be in our system for the next 10 to 15 years, but we really need engineers and planners and people that no longer have children in the school, but maybe their children have come through our system. What are some things that they wish they had had? What are some things that they think we should be looking to? And so to bring their expertise and their various occupations, that would be incredibly helpful too at these open houses at the end of the month.
Well, I can say Park City School District is in fine hands, and that to have a 10-year plan is awesome, for lack of a better word. It's awesome that you guys are trying to evolve education and make it flexible and, you know, keep up with the times, because it needs to be. It needs to be. Education is not something that's just, you know, 1950s, oh, that still works today. I mean, it changes from year to year, and with this 10-year plan, I can say it's going to be in good hands. So thank you two for coming on and talking about this master plan for Park City, and I'm excited to see the future for Park City School District. So congrats, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we got more Mountain Morning Show coming up, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.